I'm not entirely sure. Is that cultural appropriation for Pogo to do that?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know what constitutes cultural appropriation.
Yeah,
If you're just taking a beat, if you're sampling, I have no idea. Maybe our next guest can answer the question for us. You know him, you love him. It's been a while. It hasn't been that long. It's been about a month and a half since he's been on the program. You can go to defendgavin.com as well as nohate.com with Miles McInnes. But right now, today, we have Gavin McInnes. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You know, it's a trip. When I was told, hey, you want to be on Crowder's show? I go, I can't be on Crowder's show. I'm watching Crowder's show right now. And then they go, well, just turn on the camera and then you can be on the show that you were just watching. And I'm like, whoa.
And now I am watching it as well, which is wildly uncomfortable.
So you're watching me watching you. Aha, there is nothing we can do. Watching me watching you. Aha.
Okay, all right. I see where this is going, except not really. Seems to me like you have some new technology, new TriCaster technology that you're just futzing around with over there.
Yeah. Very confused.
Technology, more like.
Oh, well, I don't know how I
Are
feel
you
about
from
this.
Cats? What's going on with your ensemble?
This is one of the characters from Game of Thrones, apparently. I've seen every episode, and I'm very ashamed. If you were a Game of Thrones character, Gavin, who would you be?
I'd probably be the midget, because I'm short.
No? Okay, I guess that's
Okay.
I thought you were being Cats, because in the new Cats musical, they're making it to scale, so buildings are going to be super huge, and you know, the door will be gigantic and stuff, like it is for Cats.
That sounds wildly expensive and sounds like it could be a worse disaster than Spider-Man on Broadway. Remember that when it was opening weekend and the guy just fell and broke his back? Like, what could have?
Yeah, people kept dying.
Yeah.
They wanted to make it just like Spider-Man, so they sent actors flying over the audience, and people kept getting broken legs and spina bifida, and some chick got AIDS when a guy cut himself, and eventually they had to shut it down.
That sounds like Spider-Man meets Rent. Gavin, what is going on? Or Cats, I don't know. I assume there are dirty needles around the green room somewhere in either one of those productions. Can you give us any status update on what's going on with your lawsuit against the Southern Poverty Law Center?
It's amazing going through all these court documents and reading all your jokes out of context. Like, they didn't include my introduction to naked fart yoga on nohate.com. They didn't include how to fight a baby or my autobiography, How to Piss in Public. But they have all this really serious jargon like, and then he called Asians rice balls. And I'm reading it going,
Okay.
has it occurred to you that that person was kidding when they said rice balls? Let's try this, Your Honor. Can you tell me of another human on Earth in 2019 or any surrounding year who would use that in a serious, like, these damn rice balls are coming in here, taking our job? It's not used in that context. It was obviously a joke.
It maybe if there were an uncle who were racist but didn't know how to use pointed racist language. You know, yeah, back in my day, we called them rice balls. And the people of color, we called them colored people.
Maybe, you know, I could see it. An Asian immigrant who decided that he was just going to become an anti-Asian racist. And he was like, we come here. I don't want me to come here. I'm so mad at all rice balls. We are rice balls. You a rice ball, you a rice ball.
Right.
That guy is.
No. You rice ball, no speak for me, rice ball.
Dude, you're crazy, okay? Shut it.
All right, yeah, pretty much. That sounds about. So, do you have any jokes that you've made that worry you most? Do you welcome the day in court where you can talk about these things in front of a judge, or do you go, ooh, yeah, that one out of context could be troubling?
No, I think I heard, was it Zach Galifianakis? This one, you may have to beep this, but Zach Galifianakis said, I didn't know was a derogatory term for. I don't know if this is Zach Galifianakis, by the way, but I can't remember who said this joke. But they go, I didn't know was a derogatory term for Asians, and I was skiing, and I was like, hey, do you want to hit the slopes? And these two chicks got super mad at me.
Right. Yeah. That's very much like a joke that Sarah Silverman used to make until she slammed the doors behind her and said, now you can't use the word gay. Hey, let me ask a couple of things since you were last on. What's it been like for you now that we know there's no Russia collusion? And then I wanted to get into the Candice Owens controversy from yesterday, because I'm sure you have some opinions on
Ooh,
that.
that's juicy stuff. Well, the Russian collusion thing has not wavered. Have you noticed this?
Right.
Stephen Colbert says it's time to get our hopes back up again. Rachel Maddow goes, I hope you enjoyed your victory lap, meaning now that we are going, the ACLU is threatened to sue to get 100% of the report, which doesn't exist in law. We can't be outing witnesses. There's no such thing as a 0% redacted report, but that's what they've demanded, or they're going to sue.
Right.
So I think the left, it's sort of like these doomsday cults where they go, the world's going to end on August 19th. And then on August 20th, you go, wow, you guys must be bummed out. And they go, no, now there's more members.
Right.
Now we're more devoted to the cause.
Yeah. Like, well, no,
more obsessed with Russia than ever.
now we're really invested in our leader being a foreign agent. That will be a big W for us. No, I think that's a good point. And the redactions, yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand how this works. And it's always ironic to me. I've been watching The West Wing lately, again on Netflix. And of course, this is where you always see the altruistic journalists that only exist in programs like this. The left is always obsessed, like BuzzFeed, like most of the original Russia stories, right? The Trump pissing, watching prostitutes pissing on furniture. I don't remember. The story became convoluted.
Yeah.
But they always say, well, it's very important that I protect my sources. Release the full report!
All redacted means is that the copy you're seeing isn't 100% the same as the first draft. And if they release the full report, that missing sentence, that missing one line, that missing tiny word is going to be where all the collusion is hiding.
Right.
They are so, and it's linked to the Candice Owens thing because it's about this myopic obsession with your stupid theory. So your stupid theory is that there's Nazis everywhere lying on every corner, behind every corner, and that Trump worked with Russia and Trump's a white supremacist. And that's my theory, and I don't want to hear anything else. And you go, where's your proof? Well, Candice Owens said Hitler wanted to make Germany great. So Hitler was great? Is that what you're saying? What?
Right, yeah.
No, that's not what she said at all.
Also leaves out a big piece of the pie in that the Russians were not necessarily huge fans of the Nazis. Quite a few people lost their lives in that little scuffle going on there. No, it is. If there's going to be anything redacted, this is one of the. It's like, do you not see that the left, this is lost in them? It's like, listen, you are the people who talk about alt-right trolls doxing. We have to redact some information to protect the privacy of people because we're concerned. Remember, again, you're the ones who wanted to kill kids in MAGA hats, right? So I think it's a reasonable concern.
As with all legal documents in the history of law, that's how it works, folks.
Has this been the case with your ongoing suit with the SPLC? And where can people go to find more updates on this?
DefendGavin.com has all the updates. They had a motion to dismiss. Tons of other people are getting involved. We've got on Defend.com, we have well over 6,000 different people contributing to this case. And I think that is scarier to the SPLC than the money. Because money is just rich guys writing checks. But when there's that many people involved, and I've been told from insiders that this house of cards is crumbling. I think they're outraged that their net has expanded so far. So there are hardworking people at the SPLC with their nose to the grindstone. And then they get a complaint coming in. What's this? And they read it and go, what the hell are we doing here? We're persecuting the Knights of Columbus? They're an extremist group? People are going to jail. We're infiltrating social media? Why are we talking about racism and sexism all the time? Morris Dees can't keep his paws off me every time I'm at my desk. So Richard Cohen goes, he's the president. He goes, don't worry. We're fixing everything. Gavin is the worst guy in the world. He's racist and sexist. We're going to get rid of him. And Morris Dees, you're right. You're right. He is racist and sexist. His behavior is not part of our culture. It's not what we pride ourselves on. So he's gone. So they fire him. And then people go, well, you're kind of corrupt too. I mean, you and the head of legal here, you don't seem to know what you're doing. And they go, that's why we're quitting. Me and Rhonda Brownstein, the head of legal, we're both quitting. And we have a black woman taking our place. The black woman's going to take over now. Now are we cool?
Right. So
No.
I think what you're saying is you just need to hire a black female lawyer, preferably one who's transgender with rickets.
I identify as exactly that. I don't know how you knew. I guess you can sense.
I figured you get all the trump cards if you bring a disabled transgender woman of color with rickets in there. Some disease that should be eradicated, by vaccines or vitamin D.
They keep reiterating their own racism and sexism too. Like they got this woman in, and there's SPLC employees. They have all these bloggers going, this seems like a great direction for the SPLC. And they just show a picture of her face. They don't say anything about her policies, anything about her experience. They just show her gender and her race. And they go, you see, we're really doing a good job.
And it's a stark contrast.
That's the problem, dummies.
It's a stark contrast to what happened with Candice Owens yesterday. And we talked about this yesterday with the Hodge twins. You know, I don't agree with necessarily everything that she said. And I think anytime you draw any sort of a positive comparison or analogy with Hitler, it's politically ill-advised. But do we really think for any second there that people sitting there on that committee believe that she supports Hitler's genocide against the Jews? Do you really think anyone believes that? You can say she misspoke. You can say maybe it was an inarticulate comment. You can say maybe it was distasteful. But do you really think she supports the death of 6 million Jews?
Let's comb through the entire continent from top to bottom and ask every single individual about Hitler and try to find one person who goes, I think he did a pretty good job. I like him. I think he's a good guy. You could scour the whole continent with whale's teeth, find filament, go through. You might find like 4 freaks, and they're not going to be articulate and successful like Candice Owens. They're going to be morbidly obese with type 2 diabetes, a strange sort of festering corn on his foot, and a tick.
Or they could be one of our fine representatives from the great state of Minnesota. You
want some of this beer, by the way?
You know what? Yeah, let's give where everything's in reverse. All right, there we go. Give me a little bit there. No, I'm going the wrong way now. This is going off the rails. No, that actually did happen. For people listening on audio, you're gonna have to go watch this.
This is so confusing.
When we were shooting a video, a chain.
It's still all over my floor.
We were shooting confronts in Texas, and we had a sign. I had a sign that said "Not a Nazi" because we had this teacher, Professor Charles Hermes, who repeatedly referred to me as a Nazi. And as I was taping this stand-up, this Muslim guy drove by and said, "What? Are you bad-mouthing Hitler? Greatest guy ever, man!" and drove off. So I think maybe you might find more than you bargained for if you peel back some curtains in Dearborn.
Well, he did laugh his head off, though.
No, he seemed pretty serious. It was more of a maniacal laugh than than a sarcastic laugh. It wasn't like, just kidding, bro. It was more like, Jews. That kind of thing.
The SPLC is totally devoted to finding homophobia, sexism, racism, any kind of super religious dogmatism, extremism, and you show them Islam and they go, excuse me, move, get out of the way.
Right.
That guy Zeke Heiled at a party while playing beer pong.
Wait, no, not him, his pug. It's enough. Get out, Miss Omar. Just let's go for the pug. All right. We have to get going here, Mr. McInnes. It is defendgavin.com and anywhere else that you want to direct people here as they can follow your ongoing battle with the SPLC.
Another thing I'd love people to check out is imdb.com. It's got a huge list of millions of movies. You can see the cast of who was in the movie, box office. There's also the parental guide if you're not sure if your kids want to watch it or not. They got Animal House there. They just got a whole bunch of new releases on there. And it's like Rotten Tomatoes, but not as fun. Yes, it is a very valuable resource, and I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. Defendgavin.com. Gavin McInnes, thank you for being... What? Yeah. Okay. Look, I got a lav. I finally stopped being cheap.
All right, we got to go. This is enough. That's enough.
I hide you.